We're here in Sydney, Australia for an extended stay. And like any excited visitor, we really wanted to see the Sydney Opera House. But we decided that we didn't just want to see the Sydney Opera House, we wanted to go to an opera inside the Opera House. So that's what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah, we're excited. We've got really good tickets to see La Boheme, and we're also going to dinner in one of the restaurants that's in the same complex right before. So we're going to have dinner, and then we'll have a little time to roam around the Opera House before the show.
Unfortunately, I've never actually been to an opera before, so I have no idea if I'm going to like this or not. So we'll see.
We'll see. I've been once, but it was a long time ago, and I remember at the time I wasn't that interested in being there at that particular time. So I'm excited about tonight. I think we'll enjoy the experience, and we'll see if we enjoy the opera.
All right, let's go.
Let's start with a few facts about the Sydney Opera House. Construction started in 1959 and was expected to take 4 years. It took 14. The original cost estimate to build was $7 million. The final cost was $102 million. Hjorn Odsen, the architect, received £5,000 for his design, but was eventually fired. Despite all of this, it is now one of the most recognizable buildings in the world, and is synonymous with the continent of Australia. Sydney Opera House was added to UNESCO's World Heritage List in 2007. If you recall from our last video, our Airbnb is located in the suburb of Redfern, so we'll take the commuter train into the city and show you how to get to the Opera House.
What have you thought of the Sydney train system so far?
It's really been great for the most part. We're at a great location in Redfern here where we can catch a lot of trains. They're clean. There's a lot of room, everything you need. We've had a little bit of trouble with it saying that it's 3 minutes away and then it's taken off before we get there. So we're not sure we figured that out, but overall it's a great system.
We just got off the train here at Circular Quay. This is where you probably want to get off to go to the Opera House, which you can see in the background.
Yeah, it's a real easy to get here. Many of the trains in the Central City area come here. So you jump off here and you're right down where you want to be.
Let's go. Oh, and I wanted to point out, there's a cruise ship right here in the bay, which is so cool. I think this is Royal Caribbean. There's always a different ship here pretty much every day.
We made it to the Opera House a little bit early, so we thought we would just kind of walk around the building and kind of take it in and get some selfies and whatnot.
Yeah, it's really cool being here. There's not that many people here right now. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's been raining, but it's really nice right now. It's kind of cool with the breeze, and it's neat to be here in the space before we go inside and make it all real.
The building is so much bigger than I thought so, even from all of the pictures I've seen. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, it's huge, and it's stone. You can really get a feel for the mass of it, the size of it, and the weight of it. This is a lot of stone and a lot of beautiful curves and architecture here.
There's some aspects of it that reminds me a little bit of the Kennedy Center. I think it's just because it's of that era.
It's an older era building, yeah. Performance space.
And I think it's really cool to come up so close to it. We've seen pictures, all of the pictures I've ever seen are from afar. Yeah. So to get to this close and see all of the interiors inside, and there's a restaurant here. We're not going to that restaurant, right? No, I think we're going to a different one. So that's something that's good for you to know. There are a few restaurants here at the point. If you want to go inside, I think you really have to pay for that, right?
Yeah, it's $200 or $300 a person.
Yeah.
I think.
So if you want an alternative, we're going to the port side, which is a bit more reasonable, I think.
It's supposed to be really good, though.
So this is portside, right under the sails with a great view
of the bridge.
The menu here looks pretty good. You can go a la carte, or they have a pre-theater option where you can get 2 or 3 courses and a glass of wine. I think that's what we're going to do. The chef's supposed to be good. The food's supposed to be good. We've got a great view here, so it seems like a pretty good option. All we do is go right upstairs for the opera.
We just finished dinner at Portside, which is the restaurant right underneath the Sydney Opera House. What did you think?
I thought it was very good. We had the pre-theater deal where you get 2 courses and a glass of wine for a fixed price, and I thought the food was really good.
Actually, I thought it was too. I was surprised at how good it was.
Yeah.
I had the barramundi, and it was some of the best fish I've had. It was really flavorful. It was delicious.
I had beef, and it was really well done and nicely done. And we had these potatoes that were great, and this great burrata salad with heirloom tomatoes, really good.
Oh yeah, I highly recommend the burrata salad.
great.
That was delicious.
And a glass of wine.
And how much did that come out to? Just so they
It was
know.
about 2. Well, we got an extra glass of wine, so we had 2 glasses of wine each. If you would have done it just the deal, it'd be about 180 Australian. And with ours, it's about 210 Australian, which is still not bad because you're paying, at this point, about 67 cents USD per Australian dollar. So it's 125 bucks, something like that.
And you're not just paying for the food, you're paying for this amazing view back there that you see.
You know, you're right underneath. We're looking at the Opera House. We're inside the Opera House, really, and looking at the harbor. So, yeah, it's not just the food, it's the experience. And I thought it was good.
We could have gotten the 3-course meal that comes with dessert, but we decided to skip on that and just go get gelato. So we're going to go to Circular Quay and get gelato and then come
Skip the
back.
$20 cheesecake and go get some burrata.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, go get some, oh my God,
Gelato.
on the harbor here.
Okay.
Burrata.
See you at the opera.
Bye.
Our advice is to book your tickets far ahead of time to ensure that you get the show and the seats that you want. Once we arrived, we just picked up our pre-purchased tickets at the box office.
So we made it inside the Opera House, and we were talking about how it's very reminiscent of the Kennedy Center, but
Very
maybe
much
you were
so.
saying like an era before that.
This almost seems more 50s, where Kennedy Center seems more 60s. Low ceilings, a lot of concrete, a lot of kind of mid-century modern or even before architecture. But it's super cool being in here.
You can tell they were probably really pushing the envelope at the time for modernism. I don't know what I think about it.
I think it's
Do you
really,
like it?
Well,
Do you
I
think
think
it's
super
cool?
cool being here. I mean, it's definitely 50s, 60s
Yeah.
architecture, but it's really cool and it's well maintained and a lot of different spaces like came with that era. There's little nooks and crannies everywhere, a lot of wood and concrete and open spaces. It's cool.
It's a neat experience. So cool to be here. Okay, now it's gotten even cooler. When you arrive here, you seem to go up into multiple levels. I think we're on level 3 at this point.
Yeah.
You start out at a small lobby, then you get in an elevator, which has no ceiling roof, by the way, which is really
Very
odd.
cool.
And then it takes you up to second?
Level 1.
Level
It's
1.
That was ground that we were on. Now we're level 1, and then you come up again.
to right
To the
below
theater.
the sails. And it's much grander and it's just such a cool vibe.
Very
And
cool.
everybody's here drinking champagne, getting ready for the opera.
So we're out on a patio that's adjacent to the Joan Sutherland Theater where we're going to see the opera. And we're literally right on top of the sails, and you can see the individual tiles. It's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, nelle belle tornando al riposo, non ci sia quando gira molto amore, nelle belle tornando al riposo, non ci sia quando gira molto amore. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero.
So we just got out of the opera, and it was such a cool experience. We had known before that our favorite musical and movie, Rent, by Jonathan Larson, was inspired by La Boheme, but I didn't truly appreciate how close it was. Same characters, they go through the same
name,
things.
same story. It was really great. Yeah, we didn't have any idea it was so parallel, and it was really a lot of fun. The opera was great. The singing was great. I think being in the opera house for an opera was really a cool experience, much more than just walking around outside. It was in Italian. The singing was great. The English subtitles were not always the easiest to keep up
It was
with,
a bit
but
of
we
a
did
challenge.
okay,
I think
and
so.
we followed the story pretty well. Definitely a top 100 experience, an opera in the Sydney Opera House.
Our adventures in Sydney continue in the next video, so check that out.
Sciapiamo